Hello, this is Steven of Weblio Philippines Incorporated. I will be your trainer for today. At the end of this training, you will develop a customer-centered mindset, thus being able to satisfy customers by giving fun lessons. In return, you will be able to maximize your profit as a trainee. Today's training will focus on improving your English speaking skills as a trainee. After that, we will have technical and system training. Then, we will discuss WebRTC and basic troubleshooting to ensure we deliver the best lessons to our customers. To start off, let's discuss the correct usage of do or does in the simple present tense. The pattern is do or does plus subject plus base form of the verb plus object. Use does for singular verbs and do for plural verbs. Here are the examples. For do your friends eat grapes? And for does she eat grapes? Now, for the simple past tense, we use did for both singular and plural subject. The pattern is did plus subject plus base form of the verb plus object. Here are the examples. For plural form, did your friends eat grapes? And for singular, did she eat grapes? Next is the correct usage of comparative and superlative adjectives. Comparative adjectives are used to show change or make comparisons between two subjects. For superlative adjectives, these are used to describe the highest or extreme of all. These are also used to show comparisons between three or more subjects. The patterns are: first, subject plus verb plus comparative adjective plus than plus object. Second, subject plus verb plus superlative adjective plus object. Examples: adjective, tall. Comparative, taller. Superlative, tallest. Another example: adjective, big. Comparative, bigger. Superlative, biggest. Here are the sample sentences. First sentence: Hannah's house is big. Second sentence: Hannah's house is bigger than mine. Third sentence: Hannah's house is the biggest house in our neighborhood. For two-syllable adjectives, you can form the comparative either by adding er or by preceding the adjective with more. For adjectives ending in y, change y to I before adding er. Examples: first adjective, happy. Comparative, happier. Superlative, happiest. Second adjective, simple. Comparative, simpler. Superlative, simplest. Third adjective, interesting. Comparative, more interesting. Superlative, most interesting. Fourth adjective, beautiful. Comparative, more beautiful. Superlative, most beautiful. Here are the sample sentences. First sentence: mobile games are interesting. Second sentence: computer games are more interesting than mobile games. Third sentence: console games are the most interesting games. Adjectives with three or more syllables form the comparative by adding more, and the superlative by adding most. Examples: first adjective, important. Comparative, more important. Superlative, most important. Second example. Adjective, expensive. Comparative, more expensive. Superlative, most expensive. Here are the sample sentences. First sentence, iPhone 6 is expensive. Second sentence, iPhone 7 is more expensive than iPhone 6. Third sentence, iPhone 11 Pro Max is the most expensive iPhone. Irregular comparatives and superlatives. These adjectives do not change form by adding er or est or more or most. Examples. First adjective, good. Comparative, better. Superlative, best. Second adjective, bad. Comparative, worse. Superlative, worst. Third adjective, little. Comparative, less. Superlative, least. Here are the sample sentences. First example, Mark is good at playing basketball. Second, Joey is better than Mark at playing basketball. Third, Carl is the best at playing basketball. There are a lot of prepositions to learn, but let's focus on the most commonly used prepositions. Prepositions of time, place, and direction or movement. For prepositions of time and place, we will discuss the correct usage of in, on, and at. Let's start with preposition in. For time, in is used for months, seasons, years, parts of the day, and long periods of time. For example, in the 21st century. For place, in is used for cities, countries, and street. For example, in Japan. Last, in is used for things that are inside. For example, in the box. Next is preposition on. This preposition is used when people want to say specific dates, days of the week, occasions or events, and parts of specific days. For example, on Friday morning. On is also used when a thing is on the surface of something. For example, on the carpet. The third and last preposition, at. It is used for time of the day, meal times, and expressions. For example, at present. At is also used around the area, road, and event. For example, at a party. Now, let's discuss the third type of preposition, the preposition of direction or movement. There are 4 common prepositions used in this type. They are to, from, into, and onto. Preposition to describes the movement in the direction of something. Example, how do you go to work? Preposition from is used to point where a movement begins. Example, we flew from Bangkok to London. Preposition into is used for movement to an enclosed space and movement resulting to physical contact. Example, he got into the car and closed the door. Preposition onto is used for movement to the top surface of something. Example, move the kettle onto the counter. That's it for prepositions. Filipinos tend to use words and phrases that we think are correct in usage, but are actually grammatically incorrect. There are also words and phrases that would sound better when said in a different way. Here are some of the words and phrases that we usually use and how we can say them better. For example, come again. It is better to say, can you please repeat that? Or, pardon me. Second example, napkin. It is better to say tissue. Third example, for a while. It is better to say, would you mind if I put you on hold for a second? Fourth example, take out or take home. It is better to say, to go. Fifth example, aircon. It is better to say, air conditioner or AC. Next example, comfort room or CR. It is better to say, toilet or restroom. Seventh example, rubber shoes. It is better to say, sneakers. Next, Xerox. It is better to say, photocopy. Next, horse. It is better to say, measure. 10th example, it's traffic today. It is better to say, heavy traffic or traffic jam. Next, where are you studying? It is better to say, where do you go to school or what school do you go to? Next example, as per. It is better to say, as per instruction. Last example, salvage or brutally killed. It is better to say, assassinated. Salvage in English means to save. Next topic, fillers. Most of us tend to use fillers a lot. When speaking, it is usual to have fillers and it's okay. Now, don't fret. We have a list of accepted fillers. They are ah, okay, I mean, how do you call this? Well, basically, you see. But remember, too much fillers are not good when you're teaching. Also, there are fillers that should be avoided. You know, like actually or bad words. While we help our customers improve their English skills, we should also help ourselves in improving ours. Here are some tips that you may find useful in honing your English skills. First, read books. As you read more English books, your vocabulary widens. Reading aloud will also help you improve your pronunciation. Number 2, when you think of something, think about it in English. Third, talk to yourself. Speak your thoughts or narrate your actions. By talking to yourself, you can be fluent by translating your thoughts into spoken words. Fourth, record yourself while speaking. This will help you notice the areas you need to improve. You can evaluate your grammar and pronunciation. Fifth, listen and repeat. Watch English videos or movies. Choose a short part of the show and repeat it line by line. Sixth, practice EOP or converse using EOP. Make it a habit to speak in English. Don't mind your grammar at first. Focus on fluency. Be more confident in speaking English. Seventh, speak slowly. It will give you time to think and construct your sentences better. It will also help you say your message clearly. Let me discuss with you some rules about the subject-verb agreement. This is important for us ESL trainees so that we can teach our customers efficiently and effectively. The basic rule for subject-verb agreement is a singular subject takes a singular verb, and a plural subject takes a plural verb. Here are the other rules. First, use a plural verb when the subject is composed of two or more nouns and pronouns connected by the word end. Example, Anne and June are dancers. Second, use a singular verb when two or more singular nouns or pronouns are connected by the conjunction or and nor. Example, Sam or Larry is going to bake. Third, the verb in and or, either or neither nor sentence agrees with the noun or pronoun closest to it. Example: neither the teacher nor the customers are available. Fourth, when there is one subject and more than one verb, it must agree with the subject throughout the sentence. Example: Bea exercises in the morning and goes to school in the afternoon. Fifth, the indefinite pronouns each, either, neither, everyone, everybody, anyone, anybody, nobody, somebody, someone, and no one are singular and require a singular verb. Example: each book is worth $15. Sixth, for indefinite pronouns both, few, many, others, and several, we use plural verbs. Example: both the basketball team and baseball team are getting awards. 7. For indefinite pronouns all, any, more, most, and some, the verb should agree with the subject. The basic rule applies here. Example: all the employees are joining the activity. 8. Non-count nouns like mathematics, education, money take a singular verb. Example: mathematics is my favorite subject. 9. Some countable nouns in English only have a plural form and take a plural verb. Example of countable nouns are earnings, goods, odds, proceeds, and valuables. Example: those earrings are nice. 10. Collective nouns such as group, team, committee, family, and class are considered singular and take a singular verb. Some examples are a choir of singers, a school of fish, a bouquet of flowers, and many more. Example: during Valentine's Day, a bouquet of flowers is worth $80. 11. When considered as a unit like distance, period of time, and sum of money, use a singular verb. Example: 10 miles is 16.09 kilometers. Let's start with the technical requirements. As mentioned in our website and during your application process, we require the following. As you all know, we only allow desktop and laptop. If you're planning to upgrade your equipment, we highly recommend that you choose a laptop instead. It is more handy and you can take it anywhere, especially when an emergency happens like power interruptions, which oftentimes happens in our country. As for your internet, we recommend that you use LAN for more stable connection. Please keep in mind that here in Weblio, we require conducting your classes in a plain white background. No other things must be seen when conducting classes. You must also have a good lighting in the room for the customer to see you clearly. Avoid having shadows on your background. It is also important to keep our working environment free from any kind of noises, so that our customer will not be distracted and can focus on you and the lesson. Don't use earphones or headset other than a headset with a noise cancelling feature. That's it for the technical requirements. Welcome to our very own platform, the WebRTC or Weblio's Lesson Room. WebRTC stands for Web Real-Time Communication. This is a customized software that we are using in conducting classes. We have two types of classes here in Weblio. Those are corporate and regular classes. These two have different WebRTC features. Let's start with corporate classes, which has 8 basic functions. These are pinned message, admin chat, lesson page, mouse pointer, customer chat box, video and mic, evaluation button, and timer. Let us discuss them one by one. First is the pinned message. Note that it is a must to read the admin's pinned message before you conduct your classes, because all the special instructions and reminders are posted here. Next, the admin chat. Every class has its own class manager that handles the class. The class manager can view technical errors such as mic, cam, and connection errors. It is important to acknowledge the manager whenever he or she calls your attention. A short reply will do. Here is your guide. @channel is for all the trainees. @trainee's name is for a specific trainee. Note that your reply will be seen by the class manager only. You can also send a message if you have any concerns with regards to your class. But please be patient if the manager can't reply to you right away, as he or she is also handling other trainees' concerns in classes. Lesson page and mouse pointer. You can select a lesson material by clicking the textbook drop-down button. Always confirm the customer if they can see the lesson material before you start. Be mindful of the lesson material because some of them have two parts which are also indicated in the pinned message. Customer chat box. Help your customer to understand you better by using the chat box. You can send your instructions and corrections here. There are some customers that like to go back to the lesson room to review. If your typing speed is not that good, just inform your customer that you're going to type something in the chat box. But we also encourage you to practice your typing to save time. You can also type what you are saying. Video and mic. We require you to be online 2 to 3 minutes before your class time. We have to ensure that your equipment is working properly, and we can also replace you if we need to. While waiting, make sure to turn off your camera and microphone by clicking the icons below the video. Turn on your microphone and camera as soon as your timer starts, with or without a customer. Turning off your camera is strictly not allowed unless we ask you to. Evaluation button. Please evaluate your customer after the class. If you already closed the lesson room, your previous class is on the Report tab. You may evaluate their participation in class, pronunciation, comprehension, attitude, grammar, and fluency. Evaluate your customer accordingly. If you conducted your class less than 5 minutes, kindly click Can't Evaluate at the bottom part. Timer. Always follow the prescribed time. You're not allowed to extend nor end your class earlier than scheduled. 2 minutes is for your introduction. 1 to 2 minutes is for your feedback. It is not necessary to finish your lesson material. Just end your lesson smoothly, then proceed with your feedback once time is almost over. What is important is we adjust to the customer's pace. Please keep in mind that we can only correct the customer twice. If you were able to finish the material as early as expected, please do free talk. Now, let's talk about regular class lesson room. Regular class lesson room has 4 functions only: lesson page, customer chat box, and video and mic button. These 4 functions do not have any difference with the corporate class lesson room. If ever you encounter some errors, you can send a message to the trainees support team. Lastly, please note that you can only load Weblio's news and lesson material on your lesson page. Congratulations on completing the entire training session. We hope that you will be able to apply everything as you start teaching for Weblio Philippines Incorporated in order to give satisfying and fun lessons to our customers. Once again, I'm Steven. See you again next time. Bye!